problem often is that people want the answer to what it is you were trying to create. And they often think that something comes out fully formed, like the idea, I saw this, and then I saw this, and I put the two together, and that's how, and that's how I came up with that idea. And often it's much more abstract. You got a tiny, tiny little nugget of an idea, and you just sort of say, well, what's that about? When people want me to explain what the piece is about, it's like, well, explain anger to me, or explain heartbreak. Describe that in words. Well, I grew up in a small town in central Newfoundland, Bishop's Falls. I was very fortunate that I had a high school instructor that was very encouraging of what I did, and he understood what I did. He got it. He knew what could be, where it could go, what I could do with it. So it was really good to have someone that got it and was able to encourage me in the right sort of directions. And a lot of what I do today, I never really came about until my very last semester of university. I studied in Corner Brook at Newfoundland in Sir Wilfrid Grenfell College. They do try to foster you to have your own voice, your own vision. You do get the freedom to do whatever you want. I started to sort of develop my own sort of visual language with it. I've been doing a lot of printmaking lately. I've always felt it was probably my first love. Enjoyed the technical side, the process of it. I think that the big difference when you're doing a painting compared to drawings and printmaking, it's kind of like when you're someone who, if you're a filmmaker, they can be the commercial compared to the painting can be the feature film. Whereas when it comes to a small print or a small drawing, it can be a little more intimate, or a little more private, a little more delicate. But a painting, if it's going to be of any size and you're going to put any time into it, and that sort of investment, yeah, you want it to be a centerpiece. I let it become more and more surreal these days, rather than metaphorical or symbolic. I let it become surreal, because then I think then it can become a bit unnerving, and I enjoy that too, because that's where you start challenging people's ideas, and that's where it gives them room for their imagination to sort of try to figure it out for themselves. I do enjoy work to be a bit challenging. I don't want the work I don't want it to be safe. I don't shy away from the work sometimes being violent, bloody, aggressive, dealing with very strong emotions like grief or loss, because it's real. I always think the best way to describe it is like an Aesop Fable. In my case, it's trying to tell a snippet of a story or a moment of high emotion, but using the animal as a metaphor to make a parallel with the human experience. But I don't want them always to be thought of as a narrative, because again, it makes it more concrete, but I do want them to become universal. When it's an animal, when it's an anthropomorphic figure, it could be about anyone. So truthfully, a lot of my pieces, I could strip away the animal head and it would probably still have a lot of the same emotion in it, but it becomes less universal. It becomes about that character. Whereas if it has an animal head, it's about any of us.